What's going on, car family? I'm Ben Wayne. Thank you for joining me in another video. Today we're here to take a look at an extremely popular midsize sedan that I'm sure everybody has heard of. This is the Nissan Altima, right? So when you think midsize sedans, you know that's an incredibly fierce market. It's very saturated, and two of the direct competitors that I think of instantaneously are the Toyota Camry and the Honda Accord. So that's what you want to keep in mind when you're checking out the Altima and you're cross shopping. So specifically, we're reviewing the 2.5 liter straight four-cylinder naturally aspirated power plant all-wheel drive Midnight Edition Altima. I know that's a lot, but this car comes in a variety of flavors. So the Midnight Edition trim is going to get you some gloss black accents throughout the vehicle and options such as heated seats and other small tweaks as well. So that's just something to keep in mind when shopping for the Altima. So starting up front, what you're getting is a gloss black V-Motion grille. Like I said, Midnight Edition, think gloss black accents, that is one of them. Of course, you're getting the traditional Nissan badge sitting in the middle of that grille as well. And then you have LED daytime running lamps and then incandescent bulbs for the rest of your headlamp features. Now, one thing I noticed when looking at this vehicle from the front is that the nose of the vehicle is kind of low slung when compared to its competition. And I think it gives it more of a sportier appeal, right? So I think that's pretty cool. You also have LED fog lamps. That's part of the Midnight Edition features, and that sits on the front lower corners of the vehicle. So I like how there are no fake vents up front. They found a way to make it look stylish and sporty without incorporating fake vents, especially where those fog lamps are. So that looks nice. Now the hood does feature subtle sculpting, giving it a nice carved look. I think that's pretty neat. Underneath the hood sits a 2.5 liter four-cylinder power plant, naturally aspirated, that's giving you 182 horsepower and 178 pound-feet of torque. So that's connected to a CVT transmission, and it's giving you a 0 to 60 time of about 7.5 seconds. That's what I've tested in this vehicle. So it's not the quickest. What this is an economy vehicle, a vehicle that you can use on the daily to drive long distances or to and from work, right? Your fuel economy, you're looking at about 25 city and 35 highway as well. So fuel efficiency, especially with today's gas prices, I think that's a major plus for this vehicle if you're looking for something to daily drive. Coming to the side profile of the vehicle, since this is the Midnight Edition, you're getting nice 19-inch gloss black wheels. I think they really go well with the dark gray paintwork on this particular vehicle, but that's part of that Midnight Edition package that's going to give you those gloss black 19-inch wheels. They match nicely with the gloss black side view mirrors as well. So again, the gloss black accent theme continues. Now, one thing I did notice, which was peculiar, is that the bottom of the window surrounds is done in a chrome. You know, for this being a Midnight Edition, I just thought it would be all the trim features blacked out as much as possible. So that's something I noticed. It doesn't look bad, but it would have been cool if that was done in gloss black. But the overall proportions from the side profile is typical of what you would expect of a mid-size sedan. Now, coming towards the rear, incandescent rear tail lamps. Kind of wish those were LED, but that's not a big deal. You do have a gloss black spoiler that sits on top of the trunk lid. I like the look of that. Gives it a nice sporty theme as well. Your trunk capacity is around 16 cubic feet, which is typical of a midsize sedan in this class. And then coming lower, you do have dual exhaust finishers there as well. So again, the dual exhaust finishers, that's a nice little finish off feature there. They are functional. It's not just there. So with that being said, I'll go ahead and step on the throttle. And like I said, this isn't the quickest thing. And yeah, that's definitely a CVT transmission. But it's going to get you where you need to go, right? This is a car that you buy just to get from point A to point B. It's obviously, not one of the enthusiast cars that we've reviewed on the channel. Now, when it comes to the interior, one thing I like about the interior is the contrast stitching going throughout. I like that theme here. So you have a black interior, obviously, and then starting at the top of the dash, it's covered in an injection molded material with the contrast stitching going the width of the dash. That looks good. Now you also have a 8-inch touchscreen display here. You do not have wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, but all you need to do is bring a cord and connect your phone up using one of the two USB ports here, and then you'll get your Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. It's just not wireless, right? So the touchscreen is fairly easy to use, connecting your phone and doing the basic features that you would do on a day-to-day basis is all intuitive, very simple. The touchscreen is responsive as well. You do have a volume knob here and a tuning knob on the other side as well. Coming lower, you do have some hotkeys here, so not everything is dependent on the touchscreen. Dual air conditioning vents, and then below you have your air conditioning controls that are easy to use as well. So you can use these controls without really having to take your eyes off the road. So that's a nice feature there. As I mentioned, you do have two USB ports, some storage here. There isn't any wireless charging in this vehicle. I did notice that. Coming further back, you do have a nice gear selector that's done in black leather with silver accents. So no push button gear selectors or rotary knobs, just a traditional selector. I like that. Two cup holders. There is some faux carbon fiber trim here, but it's done in a nice matte finish, which looks good with the overall theme of the vehicle. So there's not a whole bunch of high gloss black accents in this vehicle to get a whole bunch of fingerprints in. That's a nice touch. So simplicity is kind of the name of the game, styling wise. In this vehicle, the seats are heated, so that's part of that Midnight Edition package. You're getting heated seats up front. I think that's extremely useful in lower temps. If you live up north and you have one of these all-wheel drive models, you got to get the heated seats, right? The seats are fairly comfortable. I like the way the seats have been done. They've been done in this black material with the contrast stitching going throughout the seat. It really just makes it pop a little bit. Without that contrast, the interior would seem a little bit bland. So I like the way it's been tastefully incorporated throughout. That contrast stitching is also on the steering wheel as well. The steering wheel features controls for your volume and telephone as to be expected. Behind the steering wheel, you do have two shift paddles. Not really necessary for this Altima, but they're there if you need them. And then you have two analog gauges and a digital display that sits nicely in the middle there. Now coming over to the door panels, again, they're covered in an injection molded material. You have that faux carbon fiber pattern and then the contrast stitching. Controls for all four windows. Now the driver's side window is the only one with the one touch down option and the one touch up option. All the other windows, the remaining three windows, you have to hold the button. So I kind of wish they gave me one touch up and down on all the other windows, but that's not a deal breaker. And of course you have storage on the bottom of the door as well. You do have a sunroof here, letting plenty of light into the cabin. So that's a nice feature. And then coming towards the back, it's giving you plenty of legroom. The rear features about 35 inches of legroom compared to the 42 inches of legroom up front. So if you're around 6 foot or so, you won't be cramped back there. I did notice there are two USB ports back there as well. Two cup holders are in the center console that's folded up right now. But one thing that's worth mentioning is the fact that the rear occupants do not have their own air conditioning vents. So they're relying on you up front here to keep them cool. So that's just something worth mentioning. So overall, what you're getting here is a vehicle that you can easily daily drive with the tech features that you would use, as well as the safety features. For example, you have the camera system, you have the blind spot monitoring system, you have the rear collision avoidance, so it will automatically slam on brakes if you're about to hit another car in a parking lot or a bush. Um, just all the basic features that you could want at a price point of around $31,000 as shown, as optioned out in this vehicle. So that's with the Midnight Edition package. You're looking at 31 grand. And for cars today, you guys have noticed a lot of these basic commuter cars are getting really expensive. So $31,000, I think, is a fairly good price point. That's where you want to be at for something of this caliber that delivers you daily driving capability, a car that you could just really drive on end and gets great gas mileage, 30 miles per gallon highway. I think that's notable. That's definitely noteworthy in my book. So let me know what you guys think about the 2022 Altima. How do you feel about the styling? Now the power, I think, 7.5 seconds 0 to 60. Obviously nobody who's buying this car is concerned about out accelerating the person next to you, right? It's enough power to get you going to where you need to be. It's enough power to get you going on the highway, right? I've taken it out on the highway and I didn't find any problems passing people when I needed to make a lane change. So the power is definitely adequate. So those are my thoughts on the 2022 Nissan Altima. This is a good daily driver, a great midsize sedan, adequate legroom if you have occupants in the back, great gas mileage, all at a comfortable price point. $31,000 is not going to put you living underneath a bridge, right? So cars are getting expensive today, and I think Nissan realizes that, so they continue to make the Altima with the safety features and the basic tech features that everyone can use on a daily basis. Let me know what you guys think about this one in the comment section. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And until next time, I'm Ben Wayne, the automotive reviewer that YouTube deserves. I'll talk to you guys in the next one.